earthquake struck southwest of the capital, Port-au-Prince. We've been mentioning Haiti is the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere, and one thing to keep in mind
to try and do any assessment until daylight.
Is on the ground report widespread power outages and collapsed walls and buildings.
Casualties, we don't know deaths, we don't know injuries.
Communication with other areas has been cut off. There are unconfirmed reports of a hospital collapse and severe damage.
They're trying to assess whether, in fact, the runways are even operational. This is the Toussaint Louverture International Airport. It was to be the last international.
I was just trying not to think. I was trying to calm things inside because I knew the next 3 weeks were going to be crazy. I knew it was going to be bad. It had to be bad. But it was just everywhere. Kilometer after kilometer after kilometer was just the scale of it. That's what blew me away. People walking, and I'm not sure they really knew where to go. Because where was there to go? There it was all in this capital city, turned into rubble. We're starting from ground zero. So we're still very basic. Because as you see, many people just have mosquito domes, and until the base camps come, and even as the base camps come, we're still going to have more people. I still had no sense of how big this was going to get. I never imagined it. Welcome, heads of units and country reps. This is day one of the operation. We have one toilet, we have no food capacity. We're working on light, we're working on electricity, we're working on water. This is all gonna get better every day, okay? So for now, get some rest because you're gonna need your energy for the next few days, and there's a lot of need out there. People are gonna be counting on us. Thank you very much and welcome to Haiti.
We've worked completely through the night, and at this point we've located two victims, a young girl and a young man. We're very close to extricating them at this time. We're in constant contact with them. We did 4 floors, and then we're moving on 3 feet at a time, moving little by little. So now we gave our instructions, and the new crew's going to be working on getting them out. It could be hours, could be days. We're not sure.
I was down there when it happened, and it shook. Everybody got to running, but it was just one lady that didn't make it out, and a baby that I hurried up and ran out with. They've been waiting since 6 o'clock this morning, and nobody haven't seen nobody yet.
Même si on mourit, mais au moins nous qui d'accord nous retirer quoi nous connaît mourir. Mais les qu'on pas ouais rien là, non pas pour nous.
Pas bon. S'il te plaît.
Just give them a little time. We don't need to give them pressure. Those people, they come overseas to help. We have to cool down and let people work.
Bir ekipmana ihtiyaç var mı orada? İbo bastığın yere dikkat et.
You can't look at all this on an individual drama, because you know that's what it is. It's the collective sum of the individual dramas, right? Hundreds of thousands of people whose life just collapsed. The first priority is getting, the medical people, the water, the sanitation, logistics support. It's really a triage situation, right? But on such a large scale. So the principle in triage is the greater good for the greater number in the shortest amount of time.
We started the clinic. There was supposed to be just a simple clinic where we treat minor injuries and so on, and it ended up being a major event with all types of fractures, broken bones, broken skulls, broken jaws, and they're coming by the truckload.
Abajo, a uno.
The stress in the initial days or the initial weeks, I would say, of setting up a tented field hospital is extreme. We know that every hour makes a difference. Every half hour sometimes makes a difference.
And an OPD down there.
It is very, very challenging.
Okay, but the surgical unit won't start until probably tomorrow.
All right, this is the Swiss one?
No, this is the Norwegian, Canadian. I wish the logistics wasn't such a nightmare and our equipment was here. Had our airplane landed here at 5:30 this morning, we could have had surgery going. It was diverted to Santo Domingo, so now we lose a day, at least. We're ready. We're just missing our material. Whoever is managing the airport is making priorities.
We're actually not the agency that does the prioritization. The Haitian government stood up a Haitian Flight Operation Coordination Center in southern Florida. They have the priority in coordination with U.S. Aid and U.S. Department of Defense. We so badly want to bring in the water and the food that it takes a little while to get the logistics set up. Otherwise, it sits.
You try to influence, but you don't have the final say over which airplane lands in Port-au-Prince and which one gets rerouted, because you're competing for limited airspace, and there's dozens of other agencies trying to get their planes in at the same time. It's a lot easier to coordinate with fewer players than with a large number of smaller players.
I just ask for everyone's really undivided attention for 15 minutes, okay? We're going to coordinate once a day.
I was a supply chain director for a blue chip in the UK for 4 years. An annual budget of £10 million in logistics, and that's what I did.
So priorities today, okay? If you can try to focus on these for the fleet.
There's only a limited number of slots in a day that they can bring aircraft in, and our priorities have to fit in with those.
I'm trying to get every single movement airplane here. That's, of course, the general goal. However, we have tremendous problems. ICRC have the same, UN has the same, even USAID has the problem with the American government to get the planes here.
For the airport, the flights, I understand there is a Finn Cross and Norwegian plane coming. Look out for it. There's two things for the hospital, and there's generators and there's X-ray film on it. We've all been on a lot of missions. This is tough. Everyone knows it's tougher, so let's just remember.
It gets like this because people are hungry and people see food in front of them. So people just rush to the food because people are becoming desperate, so it's very difficult to keep order.
A disaster scene is always chaos. You couldn't cross the street without coming across 1,500 people that needed immediate assistance. All the team members would go out and they'd come back every day. We need 2 basic healthcare units. We need 1 mass sanitation. We need another logistics. We need more relief.
Mettez-vous par paire, c'est par paire, par deux. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Tu es tout seul. Alors, on va aussi vous demander de mettre un peu plus d'informations sur la feuille. Donc on va mettre nom du bénéficiaire, on va mettre le numéro d'identification. This camp was identified by the Haitian Red Cross for an assessment. It's a very small camp, so it should be very quick. We try to target camps between 100 to 500 families. So what we do is we take these camps in the order in which we get the requests from the Haitian Red Cross and get the team sent out as fast as we can.
Comment maman relais?
Ça c'est ça moun ti pa gen. Ça veut dire pendant ça les gens.
They can give the children any water to drink because they always get diarrhea. And they said what is more important for them in this camp is water, food, and tents for the children.
The Haitian Red Cross headquarters was destroyed. They're using the car park of the police station to do first aid. They're working with really minimum resources right now. They're actually waiting for more supplies to come in. But we can have a look in the meantime at what they're doing with what they have. This is my first disaster operation. No one could have explained this to me. My colleagues tried to prepare me for this back home, but there's absolutely no way that you can explain. You really have to see it to believe it and to understand it. According to the doctor, there are some complications, basically due to the trauma caused because some blocks fell on the area of the hips and the back, and so of course, some complications there. He did an examination, found no heartbeat for the baby. That says what it says, but The mother is okay, and so she is still in need of care at this time. She needs to get to the hospital as soon as possible. Il faut l'enlever pour sauver la vie de la mère, quoi. J'essaie de trouver un véhicule, si possible, pour les dames enceintes qui ont été examinées par le docteur ici sur le poste local de la Croix-Rouge. Je ne veux pas partir comme ça sans savoir si on peut faire quelque chose. Le médecin a conseillé, l'hôpital à Cité-Soleil. Ce que j'ai fait, je suis allée chez Médecins Sans Frontières demander s'ils pouvaient accueillir les deux dames. Mais eux non plus, ils n'ont pas la capacité, ils sont aussi débordés.
On peut pas aller à Cité-Soleil.
D'accord. The road itself is in really bad condition. There's also been a lot of destruction on that end, so it's the actual infrastructure itself to get there. At least they'll be safer here at the Red Cross station than out in the street where they were before.
Vivant ou mort, on voulait le voir. Et maintenant, ça, on le voit. Il est là. Maintenant. Je ne vais pas.
Jeune garçon, vous contrôlez, hein? Non, mais les hommes.
On va l'enterrer tout de suite. Mais le problème, c'est qu'on n'a pas de voiture. On ne trouve pas pour l'instant de moyens pour le transporter. S'il n'y a pas de carburant, la route est trop longue, la voiture est en panne, c'est difficile. Haïti ne fonctionne pas. Vers 4h30. Pendant tout le monde couché la caillou, ça te chita dehors, ça te en de ta fait TV, vous comprenez? Un tremblement de terre passé, il fini. Tout ça. Tout le monde périt. Et ou gen Fitzgerald, ou gen James, ou gen Wilson, ou gen Jeff, Dafka, Fadja, Naika, Keshna. Ça te dehors. On va ou râler, on va bagaille, mais ça te en donne déjà péri. Pas gen sauver parce que tout bout de bloc ça va pas sauver en bas yo. Moi-même c'est un gros commerçant, moi t'a vivre et moi t'a vendre et tout bagaille appareil électronique, tout crasé, quand la crasé, moun mouri, moun victime.
Wait a second, do we have the guy? No, they wouldn't let me take him. I had to come back, that's why I looked for you. He's a thief that the police tried to execute and dumped there, and he's still alive. Along with 3 other bodies that I saw them take, whom they successfully killed. But this guy is still alive, and he's suffering greatly.
You act when you're up front. Okay? Meet you, party in the rear. Staggered columns.
He got shot in the left shoulder, right in the bottom hip, right there. He got shot in the other half in the head.
Hey, I'm gonna take care of you, okay? Someone's got a pressure trigger thing on here. I'm not gonna pack that.
Hey, lower the tailgate now.
1, 2, 3. Give me my bag.
So when you come in here? All right, hey, ready? Go, go. Go, go. Move it. Hey.
It's been difficult in this chaos to keep track of who is here and who's doing what. It hasn't been easy because there are many opinions, many groups, International Medical Corps, Mount Sinai Surgeons, Spanish NGO, Médecins du Monde.
The challenge we have had is that there are just too many surgeons, not enough nurses, not enough tents, not enough beds. And many of those surgical teams, well-meaning volunteers, they come here, but essentially they become a burden. They have nothing. They have no food, no water, no setup. They need everything provided for them.
It is difficult to know what drives people to do humanitarian work, especially consistently and year after year. It's clearly rewarding to be on the first phase of a medical mission after a disaster, because you see immediately the consequences of your work. The cliché, saving lives, it really is. I think I can trace it personally to experiences at the age of 4. In fact, myself medevaced by the Red Cross out of the 67 war in Gaza across to the Sinai. So I have that in my history, and maybe it came back to haunt me later in life, and I wanted to be of help.
I joined the Red Cross when my hometown was flooded in 1991. The Canadian Red Cross came and opened a shelter at the high school, and I walked in to see if I could help. And I looked at the flyers and I saw what the Red Cross was doing overseas and never walked out. Good morning, everyone. We're gonna get started. Relief. Plan has been set and sites identified for distributions of NFI to 55,000. Is it 55,000 people or families? 55,000 families. So 55,000 families.
I think distributing out of a truck is not always the best because people can't see what's in it. And they think there's tons in it, you know. Relief, which I was in charge of, encompassed food, non-food, health items, and emergency shelter. You guys, you go in, make sure you park facing so you can get out. If people get pushed in, it gets too much problematic, forfeit the goods, take care of yourself, and just retreat, you know, withdraw. I think everyone on this ERU team has worked in Haiti and relief operations, and specifically in distribution, so there's a lot of experience here. Act worse in disasters. They actually have a tendency to act better. When you initially go in, there's a tension, and it immediately dissipates as soon as you portray a dialogue of trust.
Comment ça va?
Ça va bien. You living here?
Oui.
We're the only ones in this whole operation that don't have MINUSTA, UN, armed guards at their distribution. And there's a reason for that. If I come and give you something in a relaxed manner, it's all right. But if I come with a gun and want to give you something, how do you feel?
We're still trying to sense the community. We chose this one because they're organized. These are people who were assessed 2 days ago. They have yellow tickets.
Remember, guys, dignified distribution.
The distribution you see here, these are pre-positioned relief supplies that were in Haiti before the earthquake. Pre-positioned by the Federation. No tenemos comida. Estoy esperando avión. Okay? But we bring it, right? We try, you know. We're sending relief supplies on airplanes, but the airport was closed for the first couple of days, completely destroyed. The airport is now open with the help of the U.S. military. We have 2 airplanes landing today, but they've been trying to land for a couple of days. I do not know that they will land, but I think they will, and I hope they will, and our logistics team will really push to make sure they land.
To be in a disaster response is a very privileged position to be in. You see something on a TV or whatever, and how helpless do you feel? If you can imagine where you can be in a position that you can go and provide some assistance, it means you can do something to help, and secondly, there's an amount of personal reward and satisfaction from being able to do it. I found it very difficult to get that in most other jobs. It's very difficult to move stuff about, and everyone wants everything done quickly because there's a big spotlight on it.
The media pressure is heavy. They're all asking the same question. Why is it so slow to distribute?
We are rock solid together on this. It's not he can't distribute because he's not asked me for enough, or I can't deliver. That's what we can get through the pipeline at the moment, given all those other constraints.
We're all having this, you know, media pressure why we're not distributing, and the truth is because the airport. And
Correct.
the truth is the airport is blocked by the U.S. military.
Okay, so
because they're bringing in 5,000 Marines, and they have to come with 5 kits for all those.
You're right.
So I think for all of us, the priorities as stakeholders, especially donors, is to be seen doing something.
Priorities is
But we are. I mean, it's there. It's just not your team.
Yeah.
And the pressure's on your team. There's no pressure on the health. There's no pressure on the water because we're there. Our priorities are really geared on the life-saving. You know, people will die if they don't get medical assistance. They will die if they don't get drinking water. So this is what we're doing now. People can, when it comes to drinking or receiving emergency medical health care or having a blanket, you still need that blanket because you're cold at night. You still need to have a roof over your head. But in terms of prioritizing the needs, this is where you make your choices, and that's what we have to do. You've seen Ian and Steve. This is why we all work together, right? Because everything needs to be done at once, but we can't. And there's thousands of people that are counting on us to do the best thing we can.
Le plus vite que possible.
D'accord?
Le plus vite que possible.
Je comprends, madame. Sincèrement, je comprends,
La
mais...
situation est extrêmement grave et dure.
Je sais. On le sait. Mais on travaille tous ensemble.
Qui sont responsables à distribuer les aides. Donc, ils ne savent pas en réalité ce centre d'hébergement.
Non, je ne suis pas d'accord. Je ne suis pas d'accord avec vous. Parce que la Croix-Rouge est venue ici. On a répertorié les gens. Donc, ça vient. C'est un processus. Parce que nous, on ne débarque pas avec un camion. On ne jette pas les stocks comme ça aux gens, comme si c'était des animaux.
De dire qu'il y a un processus que nous devons suivre. Mais cela aurait dû commencer.
Ça a déjà commencé. Ça a déjà commencé. Vous avez l'eau.
L'eau,
c'est l'essentiel.
Besoin un peu de nourriture.
Ça, c'est vrai. Ça, c'est vrai. C'est pas l'idéal, mais c'est l'essentiel, avoir de l'eau. Voilà.
Mais pour bien dire, j'aimerais savoir dans une situation pareille, qu'est-ce qu'on pourrait y faire?
Patienter. They've been seeing other communities getting help. And I guess, that raises expectations. People asking me to make promises. They want something to hold on to. And in this situation, while we're doing everything that we can, I'm not in a position to make any promises. My heart feels a little heavy about that. It's this vest, It really raises people's expectations. So put the vest on and I'm supposed to be Superwoman. And I take the vest off at the end of the day, then I can be just normal me.
Nous perdons famille, nous perdons petites, nous perdons amis, nous perdons tant d'autres monde. Mais bon Dieu fait nous grâce, nous pas même côté avec les gens qui mourent, ils ont jeté. Depuis qu'on pleure bon Dieu, ou gain force. Même si de l'eau toujours dans les yeux, on va vivre avec tristesse, mais depuis qu'on pleure Christ là, ou gain force.
Yeah.
Yesterday, for the first time, I isolated myself and I caught up on emails. I had 1,100 emails, and so I just can't focus on one thing. And then my brain was just starting to fry from being on so many things at once. So I sat in the dark with my laptop and just wrote and read and focused on one thing for about an hour and a half. And it was just like doing yoga, so to speak. That's my little hideout, a little secret staircase. It's safe enough, no one sees me, so. Because when they come, they just walk by, right? And it's only here's only the warehousing space, so none of these guys have to talk to me. So they know I'm there, but, so yeah, my little dusty secret corner.
Basically, we're in a crisis mode now because of the aftershocks and the fact that we need to set up tents increasingly and add beds. Nobody wants to be in buildings, understandably. It's great. This we set up this morning. Now it's full. So of the 19 buildings that used to be this hospital, 5 buildings are in use, and none of them have beds in them. So essentially all the beds have been moved all around here. It's people who are everywhere.
To invest in preparedness is not so sexy. But it's impossible to get money to do this before. But everybody will rush in with millions of dollars worth of field hospitals and so on that could have probably pre-earthquake or pre-disaster built 2 or 3 solid facilities.
Tell him we have 100 beds coming tomorrow. Okay. Tomorrow night, but not here. Maybe the next day.
Yeah, I'll check with you.
Hi, Paul.
So are you responsible for all the tremendous progress that's been made today? It really, I'm telling
It's
you.
too much credit for us, but it's been hell.
The tents are going up, it's huge.
Yeah, we put up the tents. Thank you.
Are you drinking a lot of water?
Perhaps. Am I?
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Okay,
Yeah.
because you look like you feel. All right.
Well,
Okay.
thank you for that. Okay, I'll take that as a compliment.
That's right. Okay, all right.
Merci beaucoup.
All right, I'll see you in a little bit.
Every day I was calling in more ERUs. We're gonna have the ERUs reporting to you. The teams were coming in, or faster even, than we could accommodate them. I was calling in for millions of dollars of resources. The German referral hospital, the 2 base camps, so it's massive, and no one was blinking an eye.
These guys are in, but their kit's still coming through. These guys are in, their kit's still extended to Amigo still. We'll bring it up.
Can you give me a figure of the number of trucks we need for the next 3 days just to bring this?
50.
50 trucks.
Plus you need probably another.
It is the biggest logistics operation the Federation's ever run. It was enormous. There was an unprecedented response, I would say, from a donor community. Because you donate when you see people suffering on TV. I've never been able to fathom out why some countries get more spotlight than others. I've been involved in probably most of the major disasters from '94 or something. I've been around, and this is probably the most challenging for me. Technically and physically difficult to get the job done.
Base camp landed in Santiago, Dominican Republic, and they're going to offload it and send it here.
They are going to offload them. They don't have anyone at Santiago?
No.
Okay. The second of our major hospitals, the German field hospital, was deployed from Berlin yesterday, and it has 3 aircraft. It has an aircraft full of people and 2 aircraft full of equipment. What happened was, the people turned up, and their other planes got rerouted and diverted. So we have 40 people here looking for somewhere to stay without the kit having arrived in the first place.
Well, that means tonight we're full capacity. 40 more people in here.
I'm not bringing them in.
We're full capacity.
They're not coming. It's too dangerous. Again, there is an option to send the delegates to the Canadian Red Cross office. However, they would have to sleep outside. Negative. I don't believe there's any infrastructure apart from toilets. Over. One of the biggest lessons learned will be how we schedule our youth to arrive, because everything arrived at once. It's again rather than getting a very fast supply chain, saying okay, this unit and this unit and this unit, we try and put 12 units through at the same time, and it can take twice as long as putting those 12 units through sequentially.
Januaire, la prendre comme ça. Non? Tout le monde dans la zone connaît Magali. Je travaille pour ça. Nous achetons Saint-Domingue. Après ça, on va l'acheter dans la province électronique. C'est ça que je fais. Tout ça m'est passé. Nous avons dormi à terre, à coucher. Nous n'avons pas même de bagaille pour nous coucher. Nous n'avons pas même de drague pour la bagaille pour nous coucher. Si la pluie a fini à mouiller, nous n'avons pas rien.
Hey, chérie, vamos à glace.
Hey, oui, pourquoi on descend dans la glace? C'est pas bon aller,
Peut-être que je perdu, on va comprendre. Je ne sais pas moi-même qui viens reconstruire jambe hier avec pour nous perdu, pour sang nous propre sang propre vote nous perdu. On est des pour perdre tout le monde, pas jamais venir crier, on va comprendre. Des pour perdre tout le monde, laisse-nous perdre la famille. Nous pas jamais venir chercher nos yeux.
I think my strength is having the strategic overview, a good sense of priorities, and knowing where we need to move things and who does what. I try to pull the emotional plug because you get overwhelmed really quickly. I have a lot of empathy, and I don't think I have the right personality for doing what Hassam or what the nurses are all day, being there with people who are dying, having to carry out amputations and deal with the direct pain. I think I would overload at some point. All the emotional charge of it, you register, but you process much later when you go home. Or when you're caught by surprise, just like when that kid was brought to us in the base camp.
We got a call from another Red Cross team that they have found this child, I think 6 months, stabilized the case, that's critical, and are sending him here.
It was an incident that I was personally unprepared for. It still gives me chills.
We were doing our thing of, managing the whole operation when a pickup came in.
And it almost ran me over. It came really close, and I heard a woman scream, "Can you help me? I need a hospital." And the way she screamed, it went right through my soul, and I just froze. And she said, "Sir, you have to help me." And I realized she was holding a baby.
Steve came to me and said, "JP, we've got a dying baby in the pickup now, so we need to get it to the hospital." We just stopped this whole
massive operation just to focus on one boy.
When we intubated him, he was on the verge of going into respiratory failure. He's breathing on his own, but not effectively.
Yeah, he's definitely getting worse. He's having difficulty breathing. We can't just keep him going. He needs to be on a ventilator. Right. And we don't have this capacity.
He needs oxygen.
He needs oxygen.
We
We
need
don't
oxygen.
have
There's
that
no
here.
oxygen.
Do they have a ventilator for baby there?
I don't know, because that child is going to be transferred to the comfort.
Oh, I didn't know we were taking patients back to the comfort. Are we taking patients to the comfort?
A couple.
Okay.
Okay.
Not a lot.
That's a great
okay,
help.
Not
Thank
a
you.
problem. That's great.
All right.
Perfect.
Do they know now?
Oh, you're finding
Good news. The USS Comfort is accepted to take him.
USS Perfect.
Okay? So you're good.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
If that hospital ship had not been there, I don't think that child would have survived.
It's this massive contrast, you know, between running this huge operation where we have 200 people on the ground now, and then you have this little baby, but you cannot not give it all you have just to do everything you can to save that life. For me, that's the crystallization of what this is, you know?
One, down to the gate, traffic blocked. We don't have time to wait.
You come into an emergency knowing the scope of what you can do is limited. It's immediate life-saving. Humanitarian intervention is a small part of a bigger whole. It cannot be construed as a substitute to political action, to reconstruction of the social fabric. The longer-term recovery process belongs to the Haitians first and foremost. Whatever actions are taken by the international community needs to be driven by the Haitians themselves. And it's up to them. It's their country, it's their life, it's their society. In the meantime, we can alleviate the suffering of those who are impacted.